Welcome back. Kovacs report, of course. My good buddy Jimmy X. Yo, Jimmy.
Hey, buddy.
Fiddle with my mic. Oh, another week. Another boatload of books.
Yeah.
Another lot of highs and lows. Quite a lot of lows, let's be honest. Right, listen, mate. Before we start doing the reviews, I want to talk about something. LA Strong, which is a charity comic for the victims of the Los Angeles fires. So loads and loads of creators have got together. Okay. Yeah, and that's a lovely cover there by my good personal friend, Mr. Ian Churchill. He did the cover for them.
Nice.
Yeah. And like I say, there's a whole load of creators have done little mini stories in support of raising money to help the victims. Right, you've got Barbara Kessel, Brian Azzarello, Brian Michael Bendis.
Whoa.
Yeah. They're like 2 or 3 pages or 1 page. Christos, Gage, Dan DiDio, Daniel Kibblesmith, Frank Tieri, Greg Pak, Joey Palmiotti. It goes on and on. Marv Wolfman's even there. Amanda Connor. Ian Churchill, like I said. Michael Oming. They're just loads and loads. So I flicked through it. I've not read it, and I'm not going to do a review on it because I think everyone should just pick it up anyway.
Yeah.
But what we can do is we can take a quick little flick through just to show you what I mean, and with the magic of broadcasting, I had it all set up. Of course, I had it all set up, Jim, and of course, guess what? Just when you want things to work, they decide not to work. So let's try that again, shall we? There we go. Okay,
LA Strong.
Yeah, LA Strong. So if we flick through, you're going to see things not going quite right. God, why does it do this to me, Jim? Why does this happen, mate? Why does this happen?
It's just sod's law, isn't it?
It is sod's law. So what we're going to do is we're going to relaunch the software. But listen, it's definitely 100% a book worth picking up because it's supporting a great cause, as you know. Let me see. There we go. So there's a little introduction about what's what. And then let's look through. So like I say, with 1 pages or a couple of pages, loads of creators have given up their time and their beautiful skills and arts.
It really is a superstar arts jam, isn't it?
It really is. Yeah. And cool. You'll be happy to know that the Bendis and Oming one is a little powers.
Oh, no way. It's Retro Girl.
Retro Girl. Nice. She's in there. Like I said, I'm not going to go through all of it, but it's really nice. It's really heartwarming. It's a beautiful book.
You just wanted to see my reaction to that, didn't you?
Yeah, I did actually, partly. I recommend everybody goes out and pick it up and support it, please. Support it, please. So, first book on the agenda for review this week was an indie book called Out of Alcatraz, right? So let's get it up and running. So I like these sort of not old timey, but it's got that whole sort of Saul Bass Vertigo feel to it and everything. I like these old stories. Definitely. And it's about the 3 escapees from Alcatraz who actually did escape way back in the olden days, before Clint Eastwood made the movie, right? And it's a what if basis. What if they survive? What if they manage to get through those waters and get to the other side and evade the police? So it follows the 3 guys who did it, which is Frank Morris, John Anglin, and Clarence Anglin, right? So there's 2 brothers in these guys. So they are real people who existed. And this is the story of what would happen if they actually made it to the other side. They got to land. And it's really, really interesting. The art by Tyler Crook is fantastic. It's written by Christopher Cantwell, and it's out by Only Press. You seem to be putting out some really, really good books at the moment, like really, really good books. So, not going to spoil it too much, but I'm going to spoil it. This is a spoiler show, right? So the 3 of them, they manage to claw through the vents. Yeah, and we start off with them on this makeshift dinghy trying to get from the Alcatraz Island, to dry land, to safety. And one of the brothers drowns along the way. Mysteriously too, all right? So anyway, they get to the other side. The guy's lost his brother. He's the sort of weaker character, and the other guy, he's more like the hardened criminal. He's not a killer, but he's a bad guy, right? And the other side, some mysterious figure has paid for all this to happen, and this young black woman picks them up Doesn't pick them up. No, they get to this safe space, this safe house, and this black woman turns up, and she is the conduit between the mysterious man who's funding the escape. And they say, basically, you owe us time, right? So we've got you out. So you've got to work for us for a number of years to pay off the debt of us, getting you out there and setting up life. So they go to this small little town. They're out on this little farm somewhere, and it's interesting because there were supposed to be 4 escapees, but one couldn't get his vent cover off and couldn't escape. So there's little things happen in this, right? You start thinking, maybe that guy that drowned didn't actually drown, right? Maybe the bad guy, Frank, actually pushed him under the water while they were trying to escape. So they get to the little farmhouse, and they've got like a pack of clothes there for everybody. He's like, there are 4 sets, aren't there? He's like, yeah, they're 4 sets, but there isn't. It's only 3. Mm. So it was always planned that one of them was going to die anyway. So it's basically what happens next, right? So they're in this small town, and I don't think I want to spoil it too much, okay. But because 2 of them didn't make it, instead of having to work off, say, 2 years of doing jobs, which is like bank robberies, bad stuff, he's saying, right, there's 2 of you, so you owe us 4 or 5 years. So now basically they're kind of outside but imprisoned in this debt, and it's basically. That set up the whole story. Really, really interesting. There's other nuances in there. But what it does end with is a little bit of an interesting thing, is that we turn up at this bar the other side at the end, and there's this guy chatting away. He just happens to be the brother that was supposed to have died along the crossing. So he's out to get his revenge, man. And it's really, really good. It's like a painted cover. It's painted art. I loved it. I really, really enjoyed it. It didn't skip a beat. And again, I love the fact that it's tied into to real history, about these 3 guys that escaped from Alcatraz. So thoroughly recommend it. 100%. Oni is really doing well at the moment. Yeah, I'm really impressed. Right then. So we were talking about the magic of things working and not working. And it looks like it's one of those days where our covers don't want to play ball, but that's all right. It is absolutely all right. So what we'll do is we'll reset it. We're still a new show, ish. No, it doesn't want to work. All right, okay. We'll just have to delete them as we go. So next one, One World Under Doom. So I read the first one, and as you know, I wasn't favourable towards it. No. But you're the event guy, so I thought, what? I'm handing it over to you. Tell me what you think, Jim. How did it do?
Yeah. One World Under Doom, issue 2, published by Marvel, written by Ryan North, with beautiful art by R.B. Silva, and a cover art there by Ben Harvey. Now, Dr. Doom is now the Sorcerer Supreme. He's taken over and united the world as a new united Latveria. Marvel heroes tried and failed to stop him, and the people of the world are starting to see him as their savior. We open in Arizona, where Marvel's first family are currently making their home. And they're in the middle of a hijacking, foiling a hijacking, a beautifully illustrated sequence by R.B. Silva. All the time while lamenting that the whole Doom situation and how their normal friends and neighbors seem to be drinking Doom's Kool-Aid and being held in his thrall. Johnny Storm suggests they don't need to beat Doom to win. They just need to make him look weak and silly in front of the eyes of the populace. Then Reed and Sue's teen daughter Valeria calls Sue to ask if she can use the teleporter to go to New York to visit a friend. Sue agrees to this, and the FF decide that they plot to beat Doom in public in front of an audience at the United Nations building. Now, Valeria's friend in New York turns out to be, guess who, Angelo?
Oh, go on.
It's Doom.
No surprises.
He hugs his goddaughter, and he tells her that she holds his favour, respect, and love. And she asks him what her Uncle Victor is planning. And he says, why tell when he can show? He takes her high above the planet, explaining that in his view, democracy doesn't work. Before he did the deed, there were 200 competing nations scheming their own self-interests, the very definition of anarchy. And Valeria asks for the truth. He confesses he seeks glory. He's done what others thought were impossible already by uniting the world, and then he sends her back to Arizona with a flourish. The next morning, Doom is at the United Nations building preparing for a long day until pieces shattered by cry of, "It's clobbering time," by Ben Grimm. The determined Fantastic Four cut a swath through the security Doom bots, and then Doom shocks them by addressing them. You've always been eager to attack me, but how about innocence instead? Broadcasting to the world again, he tells them his wait staff are ordinary people. They're not like the Fantastic Four. They believe in what they believe in what he does. And if they're disarmed, they rig their own weapons to explode, killing them. Yeah, and it will kill them all. And I'm shocked. The Fantastic Four, they have to back down, don't they? And Doom tells Reed he's going to do what he's failed to do all these years, finally cure Ben Grimm of his rock-like body, and shockingly, he actually does. With the stunned Ben repeating, "I ain't got my powers no more," in disbelief as Doom leaves. The final scene, we see a desperate Avengers team. They formed an alliance, an uneasy alliance, with the Masters of Evil.
Oh.
Yeah, so lots of interesting stuff that Ryan North's setting up in this huge universe-spanning event. I really enjoyed the second issue. I can't wait to see how Fantastic Four plays out next week with the fallout from this situation. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Recommend.
Well, definitely sounds better than the first issue. I'll give you that. I think that first issue was just trying to set stuff up too quickly in the sort of laziest possible way. So it's nice to hear that maybe
I think it helped.
It's going better.
That it was all about the Fantastic Four, and I love the Fantastic Four. So
yeah, who doesn't, right? Who doesn't like Fantastic Four? Now you were going to review this, my friend, but it popped too late for you.
I couldn't get it.
I know.
For love or money, I want to read. Hopefully, I'll get to read it over the weekend. I hope so.
Yeah. All right. So I think I didn't I review the first issue on another show.
No, I reviewed the first issue. Yeah.
Did you? It was you. All right. I thought I did. All right. Okay. So
beat Transformers, which no
that's right. Yeah. Oh, I loved the first issue. I loved it. Right. This is actually Jason Aaron at his best, I think.
Yeah.
You know, let's not talk about the other book that he's not at his best at, but let's talk about this one. Right. So, quick recap is basically. This family, they moved back to an old house. It's got a huge sort of like, it's a bit of farmland, isn't it? Really, I guess. And the father's dead, and the kid loves bugs. His father loved bugs, and long story short, there's a history there with his father, and the younger son, as you can see on this front cover, has picked up this legacy by discovering an amulet, which basically shrunk him down. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids to bug size, and this whole world of bugs is there, right? You've got all these different warring factions, in fact. There's wasps, there's spiders. It's brilliant. It's really good fun. The ants. And it is a shithole place to live, the yard, right? It really, really is. Of course, things are made out of old tins and cans for buildings. Exactly what you expect.
I'll tell you what it reminded me of. Deadwood.
Yeah, I suppose so, in a way. Yeah, I suppose so. I loved it. And I thought, you know what? Can issue 2 be just as good? And you know what? It really, really is. So anyway, the younger son, he's got his amulet, and it gives him powers, right? So he's as he gets shrunk down there, he's attacked by some of the other horrible people down there, right? And he literally punches up limbs, punches faces clean off, tears limbs off them because his amulet is powering him. And then suddenly, he goes back to full size again. He's like, "What's going on? What's going on?" Obviously, and then suddenly, shrinks back down, and he's eventually captured. So this issue basically is him being captured and being sold to basically fight in a gladiatorial ring against other beasts and monsters and bugs, which of course are giant, right? And there he meets a few others. You've got this like spider woman, like warlock. You've got this ant warrior. You've got this barbarian. It's like the Dungeons and Dragons mix. You know, they've all got their own little niche. They're all from different factions, which are all warring. And underneath all this, there's supposed to be a truce talk that's going on, but not all the factions are up for peace. Some of them just want war. So we follow him to this gladiatorial pit, and all hell breaks loose. There's limbs getting chopped off. There's mosquitoes swarming the big barbarian guy. It's great. The action's fantastic. And then he finds out, because they wheel on this sort of not Trojan horse, like a wicker man, and it's this wicker man which is pushing basically like what looks like a lawnmower, and it's dressed as Sid, his brother. So this whole yard, right? They call him the Annihilator. Right, and it's death to him. That's the one thing that does unite all these people is they want to kill this person who comes along. Because of course, if you're a bug and there's this giant lawnmower, right? It's like there's this weird thing from the gods, and they want him dead. So what Slade, the younger kid, the guy with the amulet, he discovers that why can't he control it? Why is it? Does the power come sporadically? Why does he suddenly go big, suddenly go small? and there's the Spider Woman warlock. She says there's a piece broken, and you need to find that piece, complete the amulet, and then you'll be able to. It won't be so destabilized, and that's where we are. Brilliant. It's brilliant. Like all these other like warring factions, like all these different bug people, they've all got gutter mouths. They swear. They're vile. They're debauched. It's absolutely fantastic. I love this book. It's an absolute 100% from me, and I definitely recommend everybody get on it as soon as possible. You're going to love it, Jim. You loved the first issue. Yeah, it didn't skip a beat as well. So talking about skipping beats. X Manhunt. Oh boy, you really want to punish yourself, don't you?
I was quite pleased that I don't have to read what Marvel are calling exceptional X-Men this week either, because it's basically every other tie-in has a number of the story, and that one just said collateral damage. So I'm like, okay, I don't need to read that one then. That's great.
No, not really.
Full disclosure, I'm only reviewing the pages that tie into X Manhunt. There's a whole thing going on since X-Force issue 1 that I'm not interested in, not privy to. So I'm only going to talk about the pages that concern Xavier and X Manhunt.
Fair enough.
Anyway, X-Force issue 9, published by Marvel, written by Geoffrey Thorne with art by Marcus 2, and cover art by Steven Segovia there. So the Cliff Notes version of this crossover so far is suffering from a mutant tumor that poisons the minds of normal men. Professor Xavier, after receiving a psychic distress call from his alien teenage daughter, Alexandra, breaks free from Greymark prison, recovers Cerebro and the final Krakoan resurrection egg before being teleported away by an unknown assailant. Now, I thought it was Phantom X last week. I was wrong. It's not. Okay. So it turns out that Xavier previously contacted Sage of X-Force to arrange his own extraction by Kestrel, aka John Wraith. And if you've seen X-Men Origins Wolverine, you'll be familiar with him because will.i.am played him in that. Yeah.
Enough said.
So Xavier and Wraith, they also have this huge shiny golden resurrection egg in tow. They meet Sage in a safe house building. The big question from X Factor 8 was who is inside the final Krakoan resurrection egg. And I'm happy to say it's soon revealed. And Angelo, it's not a mutant.
No.
Sage tells Xavier he's got 30 minutes before Quentin Quire zeroes in on his size signature. Xavier nudges the egg with his Omega level powers, and it hatches to reveal his wife and mother of their teenage daughter, Lilandra Namani, former Majestrix of the Shi'ar Empire.
Hold on. Inside the egg is Xavier's wife.
Yep.
Right.
She was the final resurrection egg. Apparently they kept that a secret all this time during the Krakoa thing. I mean, it makes sense for the
Did they keep it
crossover.
secret, or did they just sort of like retroactively write this in?
I mean, who knows? But
wouldn't that have been an amazing storyline to go through the Krakoan thing?
It would have been a good storyline. Yeah. But anyway, he places her mind inside her body because he's got backups of all mutants inside Cerebro.
All right.
He catches her up to present day. Dropping Cerebro to the floor, he tells her, "What's important is I have you back, and our daughter needs us. We're here now. I'm never letting you go again." Embracing and kissing her, Sage interrupts him, saying, "There's no more time. You got to go before Scott's team find you." And she takes him to a waiting interstellar craft and wishes them luck. Now, this will be concluded next week in X-Men Hunt Omega. So, for what it was, the pages that included, there weren't many, the pages that included X-Force, the X-Man Hunt stuff were pretty good. I like the idea that Xavier broke out, got Cerebro, and now he's got his wife back, and they're both going to save his teenage daughter with the X-Men in pursuit. I think Rogue and Cyclops are definitely going to be in Weapon X.
So why are they pursuing him? Has he gone a bit nutty, or so? What's the whole point?
Well, the psychic tumor that he has is poisoning the minds of humans.
Right.
And that was set up in Uncanny X-Men. So Gail Simone's writing this finale issue next week. So
it will be in Uncanny X-Men, the last part.
No, it's in X-Men Hunt Omega.
Okay.
But Uncanny X-Men is also confusingly out next week, but doesn't tie into that.
Right.
So we've got
all right. Well, we'll see what happens, won't we?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Tom Taylor and Mikel Janín are powering through on this amazing Detective Comics run. I've loved it. I've loved every single page. Like I say, I think it's the best Bat book currently on the market.
Yeah.
So, should we do a quick catch up? Yeah, we'll do a super quick catch up. Basically, there's a wonder drug. It makes you younger, faster, more intelligent, everything. So if you're older, it sort of gives you a bit of your youth back. Batman's taking it because the woman who runs this pharmaceutical company happens to be his girlfriend now. Also, revealed, not to Batman yet, is that this is also the daughter of Joe Chill, and his parents actually birthed this child when they saved the mother from Joe Chill, and Thomas Wayne had a chance to save Joe Chill's life or not at his doctor's surgery at the hospital, and he chose to do it because, he's a good man, not just because of the Hippocratic Oath. And soon after, you know what happened. Old Joe Chill caught Thomas and Martha in that alley that fateful day, and the rest is history. So that's the quick catch up. Throw into that is that there is a female serial killer running around preying on ex-convicts, juvenile convicts from a very specific juvenile detention center, and killing them and taking their blood. Right. So Batman's thinking, hold on a minute. 2 and 2 equal 4, right? Maybe this serial killer might actually be my new girlfriend. Right. So we don't know yet who this person is. But what we do know is that the last issue, when at the end of old Bats and Robin got back to Wayne Manor and found an envelope pinned to the gate, and it says, "The truth you need to know, Asema." And Asema is the serial killer. Yeah. So we start with this envelope, which is, in the Batcave, and it's been read. And Batman's pissed. He's taken it out on this punch bag. He is not happy at all. Right. He's not taking any calls. Even old Clark's turned up to see him because obviously I guess Clark senses something's not right. He won't even see Clark, and he says, "Look, I'll call you when I need you, or when you need me, call you." But he does let Leslie Tompkins in, who is one of his confidants, and he wants to know, could Joe Chill have survived his wounds, and would he have died if my father hadn't helped him? Right, that's the first thing he wants to know. The second thing he wants to know is, because it was Joe Chill and his father saved him, was it a target attack? Did Joe Chill purposely and specifically go after Thomas Wayne because of the young daughter that was hidden and taken away from him? Right, and that's what he wants to know, because this is really boiling up in him. So this issue is basically, is Batman going to go over the line? Because he knows where Joe Chill is. He's like, I know exactly where Joe Chill is at all times. I know where he lives. I know his phone number. I know his email address, his social media accounts. I know where he eats, where he drinks. I know what time he goes to work and what times he comes home. I've never let Joe Chill out of my sight. So Batman pays Joe Chill a visit, right? So Batman gives him a bit of a slap. And he asks him questions, and it's revealed that no, it wasn't a target attack. He didn't know anything about it. So Batman lets him stay alive, basically, right? And he asks about the daughter. Did you know you had a daughter? What was her name? So he realizes that Joe Chill is not connected to this at all, right? And Batman, I think, Bruce was worried that if he was, he might go too far with Joe Chill and put him in the dirt. So his mind is now clear. He knows what he needs to do. So he wants to start putting all these pieces together. So what I think is really, really cool is there's this other part with Vandal Savage, right? Who's the mayor now, right? And he turns up at the Iceberg Lounge with 30 different police cars to make a point to chat to the Penguin. And the Penguin's been asking questions about what's going on. And Vandal says, stop. Right, it's in your interests to stop asking questions about what's going on. And he made this big spectacle to, as a show of force. And I'm not sure where that's going, but it's got to be important. So I thought I'd mention that. And anyway,
Zdarsky was setting that up in Batman before he left, I think.
Yeah. So maybe they're involved. I don't know. Anyway, the last few pages are brilliant, right? Is we go back to Evelyn, Bruce's girlfriend, and who gets a call from Bruce. And he said, like, did you know that about the blood being taken from these young children, right? Did you know that that's like whatever the secret source of this drug that you make and that gives everyone stronger, faster power? Did you know? Did you know this? And she says, I didn't at first, but once I did, I've been contacting the warden at Faultless is the name of the detention, trying to find out what's going on, trying to stop them from hurting kids. And he says, did you know when you gave me the first dose of Sangral, which is the name of this drug? She went, He went, did you know? And obviously she did. And the phone goes dead. And 3 seconds later, Batman comes crashing through the window. He was outside waiting. He needed to know whether or not she knew. And he bursts in and he goes, Scarlet Martha Scott. He goes, you can't be here. And he says, and it's like, they have this big thing. And you're about to have a showdown between the two of them. And then she's like, you can't be here. They're watching. He's like, who's watching? And then all the alarms go off in the building. And the whole floor just fucking explodes. And that's where it ends. I was like, oh my God. So good. But I love that fact that he's outside waiting to get that answer. Like, did you know? Because if you know, I'm coming in, right? And if you didn't know, then fine. It's just so well written. Like, Mikel Janín, again, knocks it out of the park with this art. Like, it is beautiful. The way he renders all of the characters is perfect. Then his little page with Superman as well, Randall Savage and the Penguin. I just love this book. It's like every week I think this is going to be the issue that just sort of dips and I go, oh, okay, well, it was a good run. It doesn't. It is beautiful in every single way. Great story. Some people love it, some people don't. The people who don't love it don't know Batman. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to get hate for that. I don't care because I think this book is going to be one of those like collected hardcover editions that people talk about for years if it carries on going this way. So 100% recommend. It's been pretty good this week if you notice of my recommends.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to last?
I hope so.
Who knows? Yeah. So listen, I was going to say, right, I know you love all these old cartoons. I mean, me too. I grew up on this shit as well, right? But Dynamite may have gone one crossover too far.
I saw,
Yeah, the ThunderCats, Powerpuff Girls. I mean, how's that going to work? Do you know what? It sounds dumb as hell. This sounds dumb as hell, but I've just out of pure curiosity, I think I've got to take a look. Sounds hilarious. Anyway, on to this one.
Yeah, so ThunderCats Lost issue 1, published by Dynamite, written by Ed Brisson, who wrote the excellent Apex one-shot last year for ThunderCats, with art by Rapha Lobosco and cover art by Felipe Masafera. So this is about the 3 ThunderCats introduced in the ThunderCats the movie, or the 5-part episode ThunderCats Home in season ThunderCats Home in season 2, Bengali, Pumara, and Linkso, as well as some brand new characters as well. So we open with a sequence of ThunderCats Commander Bengali nearly drowning before surfacing to a scene of utter carnage. And I know it's got lost in the title. I did not expect this opening sequence to remind me so much of the TV show Lost. You know, when right at the start where they land on the island and it's all hell's breaking loose. So this crash starship has just arrived on Third Earth. It's under vicious attack by unknown enemies. He spots his warhammer in the sea and he joins the fray. We're then introduced to 2 female warriors, Pumara and Nico, and they try to tend to their wounded while fighting for their lives. They find they can't do both at the same time, as well as blind Linkso and tubby companion Ligon. They stumble from the downed ship into the madness, with Linkso stating that he's hoping the other ThunderCats are okay. You know, the core team that we're following in the other title. And the Book of Omens is secure because the future of Thundera, or the descendants of Thundera, depends on it. So reuniting with the others, Commander Bengali gives the order to retreat under, unbeatable odds. And one of the aircraft that's attacking hits him square in the chest with a massive energy beam, and he falls back into the sea. Now, for the rest of the book, his fate is uncertain. Did they really kill Bengali in the first issue? I mean, it's his Tigra's brother. He's like a blue and white version of Tigra. You remember Bengali? Anyway, yeah.
Anyway. I really don't. It was a long, long time ago, Jim.
Fair enough. Yeah, I know. But anyway, shocked, the others flee, pursued by the enemy craft. Brave Lygon leaps up into the cockpit, ripping out the pilot and throwing him into the sea and commandeering the craft. Now, at the enemy stronghold, it's revealed that mercenary Captain Shiner, who also is from ThunderCats, the movie, Mum-Ra hired him to kidnap the three new ThunderCats.
Of course he did.
He's got a monocle, speaks with a German accent. He's problematic in every single way, but it's cool to see him brought back for this series. And he mercilessly executes his lieutenant, who took the blame for letting the three ThunderCats escape. The remaining Thunderians regroup and they vote in Pumara, you can see on the cover, as their new leader, planning to rendezvous with the core ThunderCats later on. Unfortunately, the craft they stole has a tracking device that's engaged in it. Captain Shiner tells his fearsome warrior Scorpius to kill them all, but save one to interrogate. And this was the huge shock on the last page, Angelo. He reveals there have been no ThunderCats on Third Earth since they rid themselves of them a millennia earlier. Yeah. So
there's a time travel story?
Yeah, these ThunderCats have been displaced on a future version of Third Earth. This was the Planet of the Apes ending that I was not expecting. It absolutely floored me. Wow, I want to read the next issue now. I mean, they've got no hope of reuniting with the other ThunderCats if they can't get out of this time travel mess. Yeah, solid book. Recommend it.
Excellent. I'm really pleased, mate. I'm really pleased.
Oh, boy.
Yay! Absolute Batman, who I get a lot of hate for hating. I've got to do it. I've got to bring this to the forefront. Just when I thought Scott Snyder couldn't get any worse, he did. So we are 6 issues into this story with an absolutely unlikable Bruce Wayne. And I just don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say.
Don't say anything. Just
I have to. I want to prevent other people from wasting their time and money, right? So basically, we've all led up to this sort of like purge night, right? Batman was supposed to take this deal from Roman Sinus, and his gang of masks. And at last second, he was like, "Ha, I fooled you. I'm not taking your deal. I'm the Batman." Gets biffed off the building, falls to his death, presumably. Right, and then Roman basically just sort of airdrops, just across the whole of Gotham, these cases which have these masks in them, right? And you put them on, and a digital display comes up, and everyone that you see, there's a price, a value to killing them. So it's basically, right, Gotham, let's raise Gotham, get all the weapons you can get and go out and start killing people. Every person has a different value. For example, Jim Gordon's worth $1 million. The guy over there is worth $500. So it's basically GTA, right? Without the car, right? It is Grand Theft Auto without the car.
The soundtrack.
Like, oh my God. It is fucking awful. I don't get it. Anyway, Batman got biffed off the building, right? Presumably smashed to bits. No, he crawls back to the gym where his mate, Waylon, Waylon Croc Jones is talking at the TV because the TV is saying what's going on. He's like, no way that's going to happen. No, not going to happen to my gym. I'm a badass. I've been looking for a fight all night. All this shite dialogue. And anyway, Brucey turns up with with his mask off, but with his rest of his suit on, and reveals to him that he's Batman. Now, Waylon's super pissed off, like really, 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 really angry at Bruce for not telling him, like abnormally so. And the rest of the issue, right, Waylon's helping him, and he's just constantly shouting at Bruce how annoyed he is at him, and like this, and it's just so out of touch, like it's so badly written. Anyway, there's this side story where Bruce's mother and Jim Gordon, they're in the middle of Gotham. All hell's breaking loose, and there's this crate there. And they go like, Lala, what's going on? They put the crate on, and they realise what's happening. They look at each other, and they find out they have a value. And there's this bunch of Gothamites now. They're all armed up, and those masks are for us. And they point a shotgun at them, and he's like, move. We want those masks because they're going to the rest of our guys. And like, Jim Gordon's like, no, you're not, damn it. He puts his one pistol at him like this. At this whole crowd of armed people. Like in one panel, there's like 20 bad guys, And like most of them are heavily armed. And what's he going to do? He's going to shoot. He's going to shoot one of them. He's going to die, right? But no, he's standing up for what's right. Anyway, you see all sort of shit going on. Hell's breaking loose across Gotham. Old what's his name? The butler, who's not the butler. My Pennyworth, right? Pennyworth's daughter. She's on the train. She's attacked by someone, but her father basically grabs her and takes her to a plane and says, right, I'm taking you to safety. And she's like, if you make me get on this plane, right, I'm never going to speak to you again. I hate you anyway. Just leave me alone. You're no good, Dad. And he's like trying to save her. And then we jump back to Wayland, who's now, is it Wayland? Yeah, flying an aeroplane with Bruce in it. Shouting non-stop at Bruce, because he's pissed off at Bruce for not saying that he's Batman. And like, bear in mind, Batman turned up battered and bruised at Wayland's gym, right? All fucked up because he'd been chucked off a building and had the living shit kicked out of him. And suddenly he's fine. Suddenly he's jumping out of a fucking aeroplane with this single page homage to Dark Knight Returns, the blue background, the silhouette, and the lightning strike. Absolutely fine, jumping out of the plane to land on a yacht, right? Parachutes in, and he lands on someone, right? The DJ, one of Roman's DJs on the boat, because they're all partying, all the masks are there, they're all partying, having a good time, right? And he's like spinning the decks. And Batman lands on him and squashes him. I'm thinking, what is this? Is this like a Wile E. Coyote cartoon? And then it just gets worse from there, right? You get all these weird, like, masked up, those stupid masks they wear, characters. They all run towards Batman, and like he punches one, puts a life jacket and chucks him off the boat, and then this sort of like young child midget one comes running up, and he kicks him off the boat after putting a life jacket round his neck like a football, kicks him off the boat, and he goes flying. The girl jumps off, and he chucks her one of the life preservers. Anyway, then we jump back to bloody Gordon and Martha, right? And they are surrounded by people with guns who are going to kill them, right? And it just gets so bad. So Gordon's like, go, Martha, just go. And he's like, I'm not leaving. And she starts shouting at them and trying to talk these people down. Like, just why are you not running? Yeah. They've all got guns. They've all told you they're going to kill you. There's $1 million on both of your heads, according to the masks. Jim's got one gun and they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 or 5 guns pointed at them. It's just so corny. It's so corny. Anyway, they do the flashback thing they do where Martha's chatting to a young Bruce, about doing the right thing and all that other stuff, trying to inject some kind of moral into this, which is just pointless. And we jump back to the boat. And Ronan jumps on Batman. They have a punch up. He picks up a bowling ball and smashes it through his mask, but the mask doesn't fully break. And then he's just pummeling on him, absolutely pummeling on him. And then Ronan throws up this garrote and starts like strangling Batman. Then we get the flashbacks, and it gives Bruce strength. And then his ears, his ears are daggers. They're not only daggers, mate. They can rotate. They go brrr, boom. And he stabs him through the helmet in the eyes with it. But guess what? He's not dead. No, he's still perfectly fine. So Bruce drags him. Honestly, Bruce, I don't know why I do it myself. Bruce drags him, right? And I think like throws him off the boat. And then he goes downstairs where all these servers are, because these servers are the local servers that are powering all the information, the data to these masks. So if these hooligans in Gotham don't have the data about who's worth what, they'll stop killing, right? Apparently. So anyway, he blows the boat up while he's still on it, while himself is still on the boat. The masks stop working. Everyone decides to put their guns down. Martha knocks one of them out and goes, yeah, that's what you get, right? And then Batman is suddenly floating down the water. Because he got thrown off a boat with the explosion. And out of nowhere, because Alfred was at an airport in a plane with his daughter trying to get her to safety, he's suddenly out of nowhere hooking Batman out the water, saying, right, let's get you patched up. I mean, it's so bad. Then we get this 1-page epilogue, I'm assuming of what is going to be the not ultimate, bit of Freudian slip there, absolute Joker, right? And he's like, it's time, get Bane. you know, and that's where it ends. It's just terrible. It really is terrible. It is absolutely terrible. It ain't Batman. It's not even like an interesting reimagining of Batman. It's just pure and utter shite, right? And I was going to review this book afterward, which I read, which was just average, right? And that's why I'm not going to put you through another review, right?
Okay.
These books are average at best. I don't know who the audience is that are lauding these books, that's saying they're amazing and they're brilliant and they're so clever. They are not. They are a waste of time. And especially Absolute Batman. Like, even Wonder Woman's terrible, and that's like the least not bad of them. The Flash was just mundane. It was boring. It was just real middle of the road stuff. Nothing exciting, nothing new, nothing like, wow, what they've done in this first issue with this Absolute Flash is super. It's just middle of the road. It's like it's 5 o'clock and they've got to knock a script out, mate. So I absolutely 100% do not recommend Absolute Batman or Absolute Flash. I think they're a waste of time. So, you know, I'll be honest, I've had 3 good books this week, right? And 1 bad book so far. So, yeah, don't waste your time, guys. It's terrible. Bring on the hate. I'm entitled to my opinion, just like you are, guys. But honestly, if this is what people are accepting as good writing and good stories, the comic book industry is doomed. Anyway, can Image Skybound pull it out of the bag with your Energon universe, which has been consistently great for you?
Well, let's see.
Mr. Williamson doing his job.
G.I. Joe issue 5, published by Image Skybound, part of the Energon universe, written by Joshua Williamson, with art and cover art by Tom Reilly. Now, these two were obviously the creative team on the Duke miniseries that kicked off the whole Energon universe for G.I. Joe. In the penultimate part of this first story arc, things have not been going too well for the newly formed G.I. Joe team. They've found themselves prisoners of Cobra as the war for Energon hots up, and Cobra Commander is looking to enslave America by using Energon's souped-up brainwave scanner. The captured Joes.
Sorry, what? A brainwave scanner?
The brainwave scanner, yeah.
What does it do?
We talked about.
That was a week ago, Jim. There's been a lot of water under the bridge then. So what does a brain scanner do?
Actually, yeah. But,
that was a month.
The brainwave scanner, it manipulates people's minds.
Right. To what end? To control them?
Yeah, he's looking to save America.
Gotcha. Just checking. My brain was still in Absolute Batman, so I missed a little bit of what you said.
That's fair enough, man. Anyway, the captured Joes, who are Duke, Risk, Baroness, Stalker, and Covergirl, are taken before Destro to await their fate. Luckily for them, Clutch, the Joe that's previously infiltrated Cobra in previous issues, he chooses this moment to break cover, attacking the assembled Cobra forces with one of their own Energon-enhanced Hiss tanks, overpowering them, and is able to free his teammates. The Energon cannons are slicing through Cobra troopers, frying them alive, just like Rock and Roll was in the first issue, if you remember that. So yeah, all bets are off. It's all happening. Elsewhere in the base, the creator of the brainwave scanner, Dr. Montez, is overseeing the newly christened brainwave bomb with Cobra Commander. He tells Cobra Commander the radius is 5 miles. Anyone caught in it will become loyal subjects of Cobra. But because it's now Energon powered, anyone caught within a mile of it will have their minds completely erased.
Oof.
Back at the battle, Cobra succeed in destroying the rogue tank finally, and Clutch bails out before it explodes. Frantically, the freed Joes make an epic dash to try and escape through the firefight and steal a Cobra chopper to get away. But as they catch their breath, they realize that Duke is not among them. Cobra Commander pushes Montez into the Energon-infused brainwave bomb device, reveling as it kills him instantly. Destro contacts Cobra Commander to reveal that Duke's team has escaped, and Cobra Commander hears a click of a gun being cocked, only to find Duke's gun being held to his head, as Duke demands to know, who the hell are you anyway?
Okay.
Yeah, this is another fantastic issue. Tom Reilly absolutely knocked out of the park with this issue. Beautiful art from him. And he's doing one more issue, I think. And then Adrian Milana, who did the Cobra Commander miniseries with Joshua Williamson, is taken over for the next arc. Cool. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. So Robert Kirkman said in the letters page of Robles last week that they want to keep the Energon Universe line slim. They want 3 books until the action overspills and it can't be contained in 3 books anymore, and they just have to start a 4th one. So,
which they're probably already planning, right? I wonder what that would be.
I mean, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, top stuff from the Enduring Universe again. Highly recommend.
Okay. I've got one more honourable mention. Again, beautiful cover by my good friend, Mr. Ian Churchill. This Cable Love and Chrome. Okay, honestly, it's been fantastic. David Pepose and Mike Henderson have done such a great job on it. Now, I've reviewed the first 2 issues. I wanted to do a full review here, but I'm not because we're trying to keep the show short. Yeah. But again, it absolutely needs a mention because it is so much fun. It is just like I say, when you've got so many bad books coming out of Marvel, right? This is a breath of just fresh air and fun. So I recommend. I mean, I'm not even a huge Cable fan, but and I love it. So that should say something, right? So again, I wanted to give it an honourable mention and say definitely pick this book up if you haven't already been picking up. It's only 3 issues in, so there's still time to jump on it.
Looking forward to this one.
Yeah, I hope so. Hope you are. So Jim, we're at that moment of the week where we have to make a decision, which is book of the week for you.
Yeah, my book of the week is ThunderCats Lost issue 1. Absolutely floored me with that final twist, and that clinched it for it. Yeah, ThunderCats, oh indeed.
I'm stuck, mate. It's like LA Strong obviously didn't review, but Out of Alcatraz I thought was great. Bug Wars I thought was great, and Detective was just I don't know what to do. It's a toss up between Bug Wars and Detective Comics, mate. So I'm not sure what to do. So I'm going to flip a coin like Two-Face, and it says Detective Comics. So I didn't make the choice. The coin decided.
That's fair enough.
Again, Detective knocks it out of the park.
I don't think Detective's been book of the week before either. Strangely enough,
I think it actually has. I think it has, mate, because it's just so good. I honestly hope. I hope whatever they do spills out into the main title, right? And you get a second amazing story, because the main title is not good at the moment. And I'd be honest, Batman's main title had some really good runs in the last few years. Really, really, really good runs since 52, right? And I just think it's dipped as well recently, right?
We've got Leon Loeb coming soon, and Matt Fraction's waiting in the wings as well, isn't he?
Well, Hush 2, I think. I don't know. Is it going to be good, right? I mean, like I said, there's loads of these legendary comic book creators who have done things for comics that no one thought dreamed, right? And then they come back and it's a bit of an anticlimax.
Well, all we can
I'm
do
hoping
is
it doesn't. I've seen some of the art at least, and the art looks incredible. I mean, it's Jim Lee, right? So I'm just hoping that the story keeps up with it. I'm going to reread Hush again. I remember that came out. I remember actually I had the store, didn't I? Yeah. I remember that came out. It was huge. Absolutely blew everything out of the water back then. All right, so that's this week out of the way. Looking to next week, what do we got on your slate, Jim?
Void Rivals is back already. So that's really, really fun. Fantastic Four, we're going to get the fallout from Ben Grimm's Loss of Powers. Issue 30 of that. And we got Double X-Men. We got a X-Men Hunt Omega issue 1, which is co-written by Gail Simone. And Gail Simone was also writing Uncanny X-Men issue 12, which is a special Gambit focused issue. So yeah.
Okay. The old all right, that sounds amazing. Well, do you know what? Next week is a lot of books. There's a lot of books with potential. Finally, this 8 Deaths of Spider-Man bullshit ends. It's finally done. Again, I didn't think they could do what Zeb Wells did, but they did. And they managed to stretch it out for, 10 issues, was it? Of absolute fucking trash. No one can defend this. And it gives me very, very little confidence going into the rebooted Amazing Spider-Man. It is trash.
Yeah.
I've got a long form video coming out about why and what Zeb Wells did with Spider-Man. It's not a rant at all. It isn't. It's like a deep dive. I'm keeping my cool throughout the video, but I think it's got big boots to fill. So I'm not sure when Amazing Spider-Man comes out. Are they quickly knocking it out the week after, or is it another month?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. But absolute trash end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reread the arc again, just to make sure that I'm No, I know I'm right. It is terrible. But anyway, Ultimate Spider-Man is out, which, as we all
Yes.
know, is the
The best
greatest
Spider-Man.
book,
Yeah.
Spider-Man book out at the moment. I know, mentioning no names, a very, very high up gentleman at Marvel came out and was defending things and saying you can't compare Ultimate Spider-Man to Spider-Man. It's not because Mary Jane and Spider-Man is still married. There's a lot of hoo-ha going on about this book, but Marvel do not care. They do not care. They fucking hate their flagship character, and they will destroy him for as long as you're saying you don't like it. And that is the end of the story. So Ultimate Spider-Man's out. There's loads of stuff, in fact. I think Absolute Wonder Woman's out, which ain't going to be great. We've got Batman is out, so I think Hush 2 starts next week, doesn't it?
Okay, cool.
Black Canary, Best of the Best, which has been great. There's the Seasons 3, which has been great. There's loads of new number ones. You'll do bad things. We're taking everyone down with us. Peacemaker presents the Vigilante Eagly double feature. That sounds like a bit of fun. Kids number 1, Far Down Below number 1. It is a huge week for comics next week. So hopefully we'll have some good books to review. Anyway,
Definitely.
that's it from me. That's it from you. Say goodbye, Jim.
Bye-bye,
Those are our
Jim.
thoughts. Let us know yours. Keep the hate to yourself, and we will see you next week, hopefully.